Hi, my name is Al Parker, and welcome to my review of the Celebrity Solstice. The Solstice is owned by Celebrity Cruise Lines, and it was built in 2008. It is the first of its class, meaning that it was the first of this type of ship that they built, and they have several sister ships, the Equinox, the Reflection, and the Silhouette being among them. The Solstice was the first. It's very nice. It's been very well maintained, even though it's a slightly older ship now. And I want to share with you the things that are great about the Solstice and the things that I wish Celebrity would improve about the Solstice. But in general, I would highly encourage you to take any Celebrity cruise, and I would also highly encourage you to go on the Solstice. We're going to start with a Veranda cabin, which is where I am right now. As you can see, the cabin is pretty spacious for a cruise ship cabin. We've got a nice sitting area over here. Please ignore my mess because I've been on board now 6 days, and so my cabin's not quite as nice as it was when I first moved in. So you've got a nice bed area over here, and of course you have your balcony. It's your veranda. This is a veranda stateroom. This is just a regular veranda stateroom. It's not aqua class. It's not concierge class. The rooms, by the way, are very similar in those classes. Really, the upgrade you get by going to aqua is you get to eat in the blue restaurant, which is actually really good. This is what the cabin looks from the other side. One thing I wish that they had improved when they renovated this ship, they did add these nice televisions, but they don't appear to swing out. So I'm going to give it a yank. I don't think it swings out. And I wish it did, because it would be a lot more fun to watch the TV from this bed if it were at an angle. So that's a little bit of a miss. The restroom in this size cabin is also very nice. You'll see that we have a kind of a tube-shaped shower here. And it's been big enough and comfortable enough for us to be able to enjoy. And you got a nice area right over here. Sometimes in a ship cabin, the toilet can face at a weird angle, and thankfully this one does not. So that's been very nice in this stateroom as well. Now, one of the things that drives me a little bit crazy about Celebrity is they've gone to what they call an all-inclusive model. But Celebrity is anything but all-inclusive. I wish it were. But it's all-inclusive for sort of a basic experience. And everything too much on Celebrity, in my opinion, is an upsell. So there's a lot of upsell opportunity, and you find it everywhere. You find it in your cabin with just water that they want you to buy, or the mini bar that's in the refrigerator. Now I have the drink package. I have a drink package here on the ship. In fact, I paid to upgrade to the premium drink package. And so don't upsell me in my cabin for a bottle of water when I can just easily get one from upstairs. Just make it truly all-inclusive, please. And again, we're talking upsell. You know, I paid, I think, $18 a day so that I can have better liquor and in my martinis at the martini bar. So just stop nickel and diming me so much, Celebrity. Just give me a real all-inclusive experience if that's what you're claiming to be. On Celebrity, the buffet area is called Ocean View Cafe, and you always have a very nice greeter to greet you at the door.
Good morning. How are you?
And one thing I like about this space on the Solstice class is the buffet area is all sort of centrally located. On the Millennium class, it's kind of up and down both sides, whereas here it's all sort of clustered in a general area. So you don't have to walk too far to get to any particular thing. They're setting up lunch right now. They're not quite open yet, but you can get an idea of how beautiful it is. Look at those beautiful cold cuts. They have gorgeous food here. Salad station over there. It really is delicious. Let's see what else they have. I need to know what I'm going to eat later. Some fried chicken. Well, it says fried chicken, but that doesn't look like fried chicken. Anyway. Hey, good morning. How are you? Loaded baked potatoes. And the dessert station is always beautiful. I wish I had taken a video on Halloween because we're on board at Halloween, and they did an amazing job with the cakes. They were so cute, all decorated up for Halloween. Look how pretty these desserts are. And you've got an Asian station on the other side. It has Asian food. You've got lunch steaks over there. The buffet food, the food in general on Celebrity is really good. Now I'm going to talk a little bit more about my opinion of the food as we go on, but in general, I think Celebrity does one of the best buffets. It's really usually very, very good. One of the best things about Celebrity is they make all of their ice cream homemade on board. And so, as you can see, it's pretty fantastic. They have all kinds of flavors. And just off the back of the ship, you have an area where you can eat outside. And it overlooks the wake from the back of the ship, which is always one of my favorite views of a cruise. I just find it so peaceful, and I love the color of the water. You can also go up the stairs here to another level, which I'm going to do, but I won't waste your time walking you up. I'll show you what's up there. Good morning, guys. How are you?
Hello.
We are on the Sunset Bar, which is at the back of the ship. So we're one level up from where we were. Another beautiful spot on the Celebrity Solstice. And they have the lawn club here, where they actually have real grass growing and a little putting green. Some beautiful cabanas up here on the lawn club. And at the end over there, you got what's called the hot glass area, and it's where you can actually experience making things out of molten glass. So we're going to go over there and take a peek at that.
Yeah, I don't wonder why you use map gas. I know why you use map gas. Because I've seen you try to.
Right there. Most handmade glass has a little belly button on the bottom.
Okay.
Because you got to flip it over at some point.
Isn't that beautiful? Wow.
That is cool.
Yeah. Did you make that?
Yeah.
Okay, well that's great. That's great.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Do I need to give you my card and do all that?
Yeah, give me a second here.
This is the indoor Solarium pool area. It's one of the best areas to come hang out in and just relax. So you're not out there taking a beating in the sun. You're not out there freezing if it's cold outside. It's a really beautiful spot. Now, one thing that's a bit of a miss on the Solstice class is when you sail on the Millennium class, which is the older class of ships for Celebrity, these pools have 4 pipes and there's one in each corner, and it just pours down water on top of your head, and it is so relaxing to have that experience. And then also there are like rolling massage seats on the sides in the Millennium class. So the Solarium pool is not quite as nice on the Solstice class as it was on the Millennium class. I love that pool when I sail on the Summit. It is so nice. The Summit's one of my favorite ships in the Millennium class. The Solarium has a cafe area where you can find fairly healthy things for breakfast and lunch, and lots of little smoothie type drinks and things like that. Of course you get, of course you get a great view from the Solarium, and there are 2 hot tubs in the Solarium area that are nice to enjoy. The Solarium is on deck 12, and it leads out to the main pool area, which is where we're going to go next. We're headed out into the pool area now from the Solarium, and the pools on Celebrity are actually really nice, and on the Solstice class they are nicer than they are on the Millennium class, and I'll explain why. This pool right here that's in front of us on the Solstice class is way too deep, and so everybody has to be on the far end of the pool or hanging onto the wall, otherwise they are treading water, and that's no fun to tread water in forever. So it's really nice that they took that into consideration and made this pool a little more usable in that respect. So we've got a lot of guys out here, a lot of folks enjoying the sun. The ship is about actually 40% full right now, so it's really easy to get chairs. It's really easy to, there's no lines for anything. It's been a really great cruise in terms of that. One of the Best places here on the pool area is the bar, and the bartenders do a great job. They have all kinds of specialty drinks that are delicious, and like I said, Celebrity has two levels of drink package, and I wish that they would just make it all inclusive, charge us a little bit more, and stop nickel and diming us to try to upsell us to a more premium package. So that drives me a little bit nuts. But a lot of cruise lines do that. I'm not pointing out Celebrity per se. However, Celebrity does advertise themselves as including internet, including gratuities, and including a beverage package. And I wish that it truly did, because it includes a very basic internet that isn't really enough for you to watch video. It isn't enough for you to do video calls to home or phone calls to home, and it's not enough for you to work from the ship. So if you want to do any sort of work while you're on board other than email, basic email is fine, but if you need to do anything beyond email, you're going to have to upgrade to the more premium package. So again, we've got a couple of hot tubs out here. We have 4 hot tubs, which is nice. Celebrity generally has more hot tubs on board than a lot of the other cruise lines, so that makes it very nice as well. Now I want to show you one of the most beautiful spots on this Celebrity ship. It's called the Sky Observation Lounge. And again, we have some beautiful art here in our foyer. This is a wonderful view of the sea going by. It's also very peaceful during the day. And at night, this functions as a showroom or a disco lounge or a nightclub. There are lots of things that we can do with this space. So this is where we often have private parties and events for the groups that we bring on board. It's a wonderful place to come and enjoy a book and check out the scenery. These are the midship elevators that are just outside the buffet area and also outside the pool area. And what's nice about this is, you see there are 4 elevators here. You've got 4 actually right around the corner on the other side as well. So a lot of elevators, so they don't stay too crowded on the Celebrity ships, which is nice, these Solstice class ships. Hello.
Sorry.
You're fine. Good morning. We're going to overlook the atrium a little bit. That's the library. And the eye lounge. And they will help you with your computer problems and be glad to sell you some sort of a Mac product. And this is a nice view of the atrium area. So you've got a beautiful tree there in this intricate and very big and very cool looking container. And then going down to deck 3, which is where the grand staircase is in the grand foyer. And the elevators are riding by as we do this. Deck 4 is the location of the large theater. It's called the Solstice Theater. And they've got a matinee this afternoon, a singing matinee, and she's a fantastic singer. They have a house cast on board. They also bring on comedians. We saw a magician the other night we enjoyed very much. And as I said, we're on deck 4. They've got the ping pong table inside today because it's a little windy outside for it. And over here, we have a lounge called the Quasar Lounge. This is a smaller disco space used in the evening for events and for parties. And across the way, we have Celebrity Central. Now, the Quasar and Celebrity Central do not exist on the Millennium class ships. They're only on the Solstice class. And Celebrity Central is a smaller theater space, more of an intimate cabaret type space. They also show films in here during the day. We'll take a peek and see if anything's going on. Looks like a few people are gathering for, oh, they're going to play Deal or No Deal. That's one of the things they do on board the ship. Again, it's an upsell opportunity. It's kind of like bingo. So instead of bingo, you're playing their version of Deal or No Deal. It's a great spot for a more intimate cabaret. Also here on deck 4, you have the Future Cruise Vacation Office where you can go book your next vacation, and you've got the shops. So all the cruise ships have little shopping areas, and this is the area on Celebrity, and it's right across from the casino area that's on board. And the casino bar. Very typical for a cruise ship of this size. I'm in Cellar Masters now. This is another bar that is on deck 4. It's across from the Martini Bar. More of a wine focus, but you can still get anything you want to drink in here. But very nice. Again, very traditional looking, lots of nice dark wood tones and beautiful burgundy tones. They're getting ready to have a wine tasting and pairing event in here in a few minutes. Very relaxing space. One of the best spots on the Solstice class of ships is the Martini Bar area, and I'm going to get some video of this at night for you because it really is spectacular to see. The bartenders put on a wonderful show. Lots of very delicious high-end martinis if you're into that. The Martini bars on the Millennium class are slightly smaller, and that's what's nice about the Solstice class is this is really a favorite spot of any Celebrity cruise. So having a larger Martini bar on the Solstice class is something that comes in handy. Oh my God. Oh my God. On the Solstice class ship, the dining room is called Grand Epernay. And right now they're getting ready to set up for lunch, and I hope they'll let me come in and shoot a quick video. Do you mind if I take a little video in here really quickly? Thank you. The dining room is so beautiful, I want people on YouTube to see it. Thank you. Hello, good afternoon everyone. How are you? So you can see you've got a wonderful staff here that's ready to take care of you here on the Solstice. And it's a 2-level dining room, and at night, the upstairs is called what's called Dine Anytime. And you can come, and when you're signed up for Dine Anytime, it means you can literally come in. Now, if they're busy, you might have a little bit of a wait. And then they also have 2 traditional seatings for dinner. One's at 5 o'clock, which is a little early for me, and the other one's 8:30, which is a little bit late. But I would rather go to the late one and enjoy a few cocktails before I go to dinner. So you can see how pretty this is. It's an absolutely beautiful space. This is the Grand Epernay, and this is the main dining room. Now again, the food on Celebrity is really good. It's as good as any other cruise line, but I have seen It's not quite as good as it used to be, I have to say. A few years ago, it was better. I sailed one time when they had a tie-in with the Top Chef show on Food Network, and that was one of the best meals I've ever had in my life. It was extraordinary, and it was in the main dining room. But now it feels like that they have dumbed down the dining room menu a little bit in order to save a little bit of money and also to encourage you to go to the specialty restaurants. So that's a little bit disappointing. Now let's talk about some food. Let's talk about upsell restaurants or specialty restaurants. And again, I'm using that word upsell. It drives me a little bit nuts on most cruise lines, and Celebrity, unfortunately, you're no different. So this is Sushi on 5. It is one of the upsell specialty restaurants. And years ago when I started sailing on Celebrity, they had sushi on the buffet. And then they had the bright idea to charge for it. And so the buffet became a little less special that day. And I find that goes on over the years, unfortunately, on Celebrity and other cruise lines as well, but certainly on Celebrity. The quality of the steaks in the buffet area and the main dining room has deteriorated, and I use that word intentionally. It's not good because they want to upsell you to go into a specialty restaurant to get a better steak and a better cut of meat, unfortunately. So again, it's a gripe I have about Celebrity, but they're not the only ones that do it. Norwegian does it. Royal Caribbean does it. Now, I will say, what is nice about Celebrity is at least you do get a bit of an all-inclusive experience. It's a basic all-inclusive experience, but you do get an alcohol package or an internet package, and you don't have to pay for it. You will almost never get that on Royal Caribbean, which is the sister company of Celebrity. You will also almost never get that on Disney. You're almost never going to get that on some other cruise lines. You will occasionally get that on Norwegian, and also on Holland America. So we've got our coffee bar over there and our gelato bar over there. Again, all of this is for an extra charge. We're going to walk through into. Now, can you hear the crickets? Can you hear the crickets? This is like a weird little experience room here. Little ants on the floor, and you hear the chirping of crickets. And this leads into the Ensemble Lounge, which on the Millennium class is called the Rendezvous Lounge. And you'll find live music in here at night. It's a little more upscale looking. It's nice burgundy colors and dark, rich woods. So it's very nice in here. And this leads over to more specialty restaurants: Tuscan Grill, Silk Harvest, and Blue. Now, Silk Harvest is where they have rethemed a little bit, and they do what's called Le Petit Chef. And Le Petit Chef is an experience dinner where you have actually animated characters who crawl across your table. They're cartoons, and they make your dinner in front of you, and they're coming from projectors that are in the ceiling above your meal. And then when the little cartoon finishes, the waiters bring out what has been prepared, and it's exactly what they prepared on your on the video. So it's very cute. It's not the best food on the ship, but it's one of the best experiences. And that is in Silk Harvest, and it's a set menu. You can make some changes on that, but it's generally a set menu with tomato salad, ravioli, steak frite, and a tea matcha cake. So that may not be your jam. Over here is the Blue restaurant. If you are in Aqua class, then you will eat in Blue, and it is one of the best restaurants on the ship. So that is an upsell that is nice. You see, it's a little more intimate than a main dining room is. And I've been in Aqua class many times, and I always enjoy eating in Blue. I've never had a bad experience in Blue. There's tonight's menu. And let's talk about dress codes. So we've got evening chic tonight. Now, one thing about Celebrity is it is what I call a very modern sophistication, whereas Holland America is a little more classic old world sophistication. So when you are on Celebrity, you do not have to dress up, but you do need to wear a pair of pants and a shirt with a collar when you go in the dining rooms. And then they give you these nights called evening chic, and you've got the ability on those nights to dress up a little bit more if you want to, and other passengers will do the same. I'm going to take you now show you the Tuscan Grill. Good morning, how are you? Now, I've already had 2 meals here in the Tuscan Grill since I've been on board because it is my favorite restaurant on board. It is absolutely delicious. It looks a little bit different at night. You can see that you've got the back view of the ship. It's a very pretty room. It's fairly dimly lit at night, but it's very intimate and a very relaxed setting. But they have delicious homemade pastas, and their steaks and fillets in here are the best on board. Okay, so we're still in the Tuscan Grill, and I'm going to show you the menu. And again, I'm going to gripe a little bit, Celebrity. I'm already paying an upsell to come to this restaurant, which is $50+, but then you want to upsell me again to get a New York steak or a porterhouse. So haven't I already given you enough to have a really good meal in this restaurant? And the filet is delicious, I have to say, in this restaurant. It's fantastic, as is the Grill Branzino. If you come here, the best pasta is the lobster rigatoni Alfredo. My second favorite is the stracciatella carbonara, so that's really good as well. I'm sorry, I take that back. The short rib pappardelle ragu is really good. So number 1, lobster rigatoni. Number 2, short rib pappardelle ragu. They're doing some maintenance out there today, so I'm not allowed out on this deck. But one thing I do like about the Celebrity ships, at least the Solstice class and the Millennium class, is they still have a promenade deck. Now, it doesn't go all the way around the ship, but it is a wonderful place to come out and look at the ocean because you're only a couple of decks up from the waves, and so you really can kind of get close to it and feel more like you're on the ocean. You do not get that anymore on newer ships. A lot of newer ships do not have a promenade deck that gets you that close, and so you're up, 15, 20 stories above the ocean looking down on it, as opposed to being really close where you can see the waves. So that's a nice feature of the smaller Holland America or Celebrity ships especially. I managed to get out here to the promenade deck, and it's a beautiful time. A little bit cloudy, but make sure when you take a cruise that you take the time to enjoy a beautiful sunset. There's a boat on the horizon there to the right. Looks like probably some kind of cargo container. Okay, I'm back on deck 5, and I'm going through another shop area. Got your pretty jewelry up here. And this is called the World Class Bar. This is also another really nice bar to spend time in here on Celebrity. They do their LGBT meetups here usually at 6 o'clock every night. Some beautiful watches, beautiful jewelry. Hello. Okay, now we're getting into the part of the ship that drives me nuts. It's this Park West auction thing. They do these art auctions on board. The art is of questionable value, and I highly recommend, before you buy any art at sea, that you do your homework by looking up Park West auctions at sea online and reading what they have to say about them. And that is all I'm going to say about the Park West auctions on board. But all the cruise lines have them, and They sell a lot of stuff. But whether it's worth anything or whether you're overpaying, just do your homework. Read for yourself. I'm going to end things up here on the Celebrity Solstice. I'm in the World Class Bar, and they're getting ready to have their LGBT meetup, so I'm going to have a cocktail and have a good time. I just wanted to kind of wrap things up with my review of the Solstice. For Celebrity, it's one of my favorite cruise lines, so regardless of my critiques, I want to leave you with that. That is one of my favorite cruise lines. They do a lot of things really well, and it is, I always think of Celebrity as being casual sophistication and elegance. If I had two things to ask Celebrity to please do, it would be to make all-inclusive a real all-inclusive. Charge a little bit more, but stop nickel and diming me on board for little stupid stuff. And then the second thing would be send the kids over to Royal Caribbean. Let's make this an all-adult ship the way Richard Branson has done with Virgin, and I think you do really well with that. And you do kids so well on Royal Caribbean. So just make everybody happy. And then the other thing is food is really great on Celebrity, but it's not as good as it used to be. So pay a little more attention to your food, especially your main dining room and your buffets. Because I do miss, oh, the other thing I missed was your cheeseburgers used to be amazing. God, they used to be so good. But the cheeseburgers on Holland are better. So go back to your old method of doing your cheeseburgers that you used to do. I remember literally having dreams about your cheeseburgers after being on the Summit the first 2 times I was on that ship. And you change the way you prepare them. They're not made to order anymore. They're sitting around a little bit and kind of reheated, and they're just not as good. All right, so anyway, Celebrity, you do a great job. You're one of my favorite cruise lines. I will always be a Celebrity fan, and I will sail with you again. In fact, I'm going to be on the Beyond next week. So look for my review of the Beyond, and then after that, I'll be on the Norwegian Prima. Yeah, the Prima. I'll be on the Norwegian Prima, and then I'll be on the Royal Caribbean Wonder of the Seas. So watch for my videos on those ships. They'll be coming up soon.